just like that, we're back on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Thank you for spending your morning with us. And you came at a good time, let me tell you. I'm so excited about the SAFTAs. And joining us right now is Onke Dumeko. Now, she's the head of operations for the South African Film and Television Awards, also known as the SAFTAs. It's the awards that honors and celebrates and also promotes the creativity, the quality and the excellence of South African film and television. Not only its productions, but also its talent. And it also serves to encourage entrepreneurship and the development of new talent within the industry. I bet you didn't know that. Now, she's here to get excited with us about the SAFTA nominations, which Expresso will announce in a moment or two. What an honor. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you very much.
You look so good, girl. Do this with the sleeves, because I feel like both of us sleeves are sleeving today. Well, let's get into the SAFTAs. I mean, I think year to year, we get so excited about this time of the year. As South Africans, we are glued to our screens. Whether it's soapies or movies, we love to see it. So tell me more about the SAFTAs and what it takes to put it all together.
So the National Film and Video Foundation, otherwise known as the NFVF, are the custodians of the SAFTAs. The SAFTAs have been around for 18 years this year. And they recognize the industry across film and TV. So I think they play such an incredible role in industry feeling like their work is worth it. Absolutely. I think on a personal level, that's what the recognition does, that it just gives you that assurance that all your hard work means something. And then on a community level with your peers, because our jury members are people from the industry, right? It further extends that acknowledgement. And then I think just in terms of a person's career, to get a SAFTA nod, it really, really does shift the needle where it's necessary sometimes. So I mean, that's what the awards are. I think they are the premier, right, film and television awards on the continent. And celebrating South African artists that really, really play their part.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that what we do is actually a work of service, right? And sometimes it does go unnoticed, but we love what we do, so we'll do it every day. But to get that acknowledgement, that little bit of a nod of approval, it does actually feel really great.
Absolutely.
And that merit is definitely well-deserved and well-earned. It's 30 years of democracy this year, and I know across the whole country we've been celebrating. This month in particular is Heritage Month, so why not also speak to that? And I mean, Isidingo, for example, I grew up watching it and I knew that they always would touch on the relevant topics happening in South Africa. They would really help steer the right boat when it comes to talking about democracy and talking about issues that we still are dealing with in South Africa. How do you feel like the film and television industry as a whole really contributes to our democracy?
So, I mean, the industry contributes to the economy, right? Yes. If we start there, you're talking about an industry that's worth 7.1 billion rand. In the absence of something like COVID, which contracts its value to about 2.9 billion. So the industry in itself is such a huge economic driver. And I think with time, that investment, additional investment will come into it, especially with, a new minister who's very passionate about the industry. I think a lot is still yet to come. And I think in the context then of the democracy and everything that democracy represents, the industry really, really is at the forefront of, I guess, communicating the cultural heritage, communicating, all of the different nuances that come into the forefront. If you think of things like social cohesion, film and television are the perfect channel for that, right? So I think throughout the years, film and television have always really been at the center of communicating the journey of the democracy. And that's important because when you look back on where the country's come in these 30 years, the different telenovelas and soapies that we've seen over the 30 years, the different dramas, the different magazine shows, right? The different films, documentaries, all of this content will always be there to tell the story of South Africa's journey. So I don't think there's any industry that's more important, right? To celebrate and really, really serve as like such a teaching tool about our democracy.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. And also kind of enveloping it in entertainment, you
Yeah.
know? So it's really good to be able to digest these topics that sometimes feel quite heavy, but then you're watching it and you're like, oh, actually, yes, let's talk about this. Let's bring it to the table at 7 o'clock at our family time, and it's going to be okay. And that is how we're going to continue moving forward. 30 years, 30 more years, please. Can we please have this? I wonder what you think the future of the film industry is going to look like in South Africa. I mean, if we see how far we've come in terms of our productions, it's at an international level at this point.
Yeah.
Where do you see us going?
Further.
Yeah.
Further than that.
Yes.
I think we are at a very, very important time in the industry. I think I touched on it before. I think the current political climate is really, really, it's a good thing for this industry. I think it hasn't been anything. I think this industry needed it the most. Yeah. And what we will see is a lot more of a collective effort in getting this industry to where it needs to be, because that's essentially what you need. You know, film and TV, I think they touch on areas that live outside of what you would typically think, especially in the context of, like, you know, digital and all of those things that come with it. There's a lot more collective effort that's needed to get this industry where it can be.
Yes.
I think currently, in terms of the volumes of the films that we create, we have an industry, we have a demand, we have a cohort of filmmakers that can create a lot more volumes. I think it's just an issue of funding. But once you get those different components right, do you know what I mean? The sky is definitely the limit. And I think, I mean, South Africa really is a production destination of choice. You have a lot of international feature films that shoot in parts of South Africa, particularly Cape Town. You know, that just already shows you, right, the type of potential that's there. You just need the right ingredients and, you know, the right combination of them, and you have a much better product in the end.
Beautiful.
Great weather, you know, very well experienced cast and crew.
Yes.
So we have all of those ingredients that you need. But once we get to a point where the investment is at the level it should be at.
Come on now. Telling you, like you said, the sky is the limit. Well, we are so privileged and honored to be able to announce some of those categories today and the nominees that are within it. I mean, what a time to be alive and to be South African and to be tuned into your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you'll stick around, because you have to be here, part of the excitement of what we're doing today. And we look forward to the next 30 years of beautiful, in fact, 18 years of beautiful SAFTA awards. Stick around on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. I think Carl's got something for you.